Hi everyone, welcome back to the Profitable Website podcast. My name is Ella. I'm a Squarespace web designer for small business owners who want to work smarter, not harder. And today I want to talk about how to stop competing on price and products or services feature and start to communicate your why. And this episode was inspired by the book that I have read recently. It's a book of Simon Sinek, Start with Why. So if you are watching on YouTube, I'm showing right now the book. And the tagline is, how great leaders inspire everyone to take action. And to be honest, this is what attracted me to this book, because this is what we want. As a small business owners, we want people to take action. We want them to book a call with us. We want them to buy from us our products or our services. We want them to download our lead magnet. So we want people to take action. So today I'm not on my own. I have amazing guest, Lucy Cronly. Lucy is a life coach, but also she is an accredited Simon Sinek WHY Coach. Lucy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. It's great to be here with you today. And I'm very excited to talk about why and the why discovery. Such a wonderful place to start.
I'm delighted that you are here. I'm delighted that you found the time for us. Okay, so Lucy, maybe if we can start, if you can introduce yourself properly.
Okay, my name is Lucy Cronly. I'm a life coach. I pivoted into life coaching in 2023 when I'd had to medically retire after a violent incident at work where I'd been hurt and wasn't able to continue in the work I was doing. I'd been working in residential care where I'd managed teams for 25 years and worked for about 30 years, maybe a little bit more than that. But so I pivoted into life coaching and I trained as a life coach with neuroscience. I've written a book, which, again, if you're on the podcast, it's just on the wall behind me. And I have recently added an accreditation of a Simon Sinek WHY Coach as well. So, and I love Simon Sinek's work. It's something that I would have devised myself before I did the training with Simon. So that added the really extra edge of having the training of looking at doing a why discovery the way Simon would do it. So that is me.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's get to the topic. Let's start from the beginning. Who is Simon Sinek, and in simple words, what is this why we are talking about?
Okay, well, Simon Sinek is an author of a number of books, one that you have there. He is an organizational consultant and he is a speaker. So he's a motivational speaker, and he did a TED Talk in 2009 called Start with Why. And what he's talking about is knowing what your purpose is, knowing what it is that drives you, and knowing what it is that is the thing that you have of value that you put out into the world. It's the purpose, the cause, or the belief that inspires you to do what you do. So what's the thing that kind of lights you up? So that's your why, and then what you do can change. So you can do different jobs. Like I worked in social care, that lit me up as a person. I loved doing that. It served my why. But now working as a life coach, that serves my why too, because my why is listening with heart, head and gut, so we can build meaningful connections with ourselves and others. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
It's looking for things that will give us fulfillment in life and a purpose, as you said.
Yeah.
So when I was reading the book, he was giving a lot of examples from big companies like Apple or American Airlines. So my question is why only for big brands, or is it also important for small business owners?
I think it's really important for all business owners because, you know, if we clearly explain like why we're doing the job that we do, so we communicate why we set up our business. And most of us, like for you, it's not just I set up a business to build websites, but it's a case of you want to build good websites for people that they can communicate their message. So it's about knowing why you set up your business. What was the thing that you said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a business doing such and such. because that serves, that's something that I want to put out into the world that I think is good and of value. So again, if you take it back to my why, I believe that listening is my superpower and the skill that I have. So I'm a life coach. Or you could look at somebody who wanted to set up, say, a salad bar or a healthy eating establishment, that they'd say, I am making healthy food because I want people to be able to live long, healthy lives. So that's why they've done it.
Yeah, and very often, very strong why is when somebody has got a transformation themselves, they overcome some challenge, and they feel the purpose to share their knowledge, to share their experience.
Yeah.
So the others can benefit as well from it.
But in discovery, Ellen, in a why discovery, like what they're talking about now in terms of why discoveries, your why is developed actually from when you're kind of in your late teens, early 20s. So, and then the different whats that you do. So the different jobs that you have, the different roles that you play, when you operate from your why, that's when you're at your best self. So it's the why discovery process uses telling stories, and the telling of stories that look at how you communicate with other people, and what are the meaningful things that you've had in your life that you value. So it helps you to uncover that. That's the way that's done. So it looks at, the thinking part of your brain, and that has lots of language, and it's all the logic is there. But the feeling and the gut instinct part of your brain is the limbic part of your brain that doesn't have language. But the telling of stories helps to uncover the language in that part of your brain that doesn't have the thinking and the language aspect.
And can we say,
does that make sense?
Yes, and I was just wondering, can we say that why it's our values and our beliefs?
Well, your values and your beliefs support your why and drive your why. And yes, of course, they're incorporated into that. But usually your why is one particular thing that you do in relationships, in your work, in every part of your life that helps you to be your best self. It's the thing that somebody will say, Lucy's really good. She will actually listen to you, reflect back on what you've said. Like, the funny thing is that one of my values is to be curious about people. My kids call me the nosiest person in Ireland, or nosiest woman in Ireland, actually, because they say, like, when they tell me something, I always go, oh, right, what does that mean? And how do you see that? So I like to uncover what they actually mean by what they're saying. So that's something that I do all the time, everywhere.
Lucy, can we give listeners some specific examples how the why can look like?
Okay, well, the why is made up of the thing that you do. So for me, that's to listen with heart, head, and gut. So for me, it's listening with my heart, which is emotion, with my head, which is the logic, and with my gut, which is the instinct. So that's one of the things that I do. And what I hope by me doing that, by listening, that's the thing that I do. Then what I hope is going to happen from that is that it helps people to build meaningful connections with themselves and with others. So I believe when I'm coaching people that I coach them to be their own best friend, so that we have a good connection with ourselves, and that we're kind to ourselves, but we hold ourselves accountable. And then if we do that, we have somebody who is kind to us all the time, with us all the time. Whereas the majority of us are actually quite mean to ourselves. We speak to each other speak to ourselves quite harshly, and we speak to ourselves in ways we wouldn't actually speak to somebody else.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And tell me, if so, we know it's important to communicate our why, because right now there's so many competition. If we just communicated what we do. So, for example, if I just communicated I do web design, there's loads of competition. There's loads of other web designers who can say, yeah, I design a website. So that's why it's so important to also communicate our why. So how we can communicate this why? In what places? How small business can communicate it?
I think it's looking at, instead of saying, I build web pages or I build websites for people, what is it that you do that makes your websites unique? So what is it that you're building for people? An opportunity for them to put their work on display, and you're looking to do that in a way that shines a light on them to be the best version of themselves, to build their business, to show the skill that they have, to show the empathy or compassion, or whatever it is that they're looking to display, whatever it is that they're looking to put out there. So you build websites that bring those things to life and into light for people.
Yeah, so my tagline, for example, I build websites that support your business goals and support your life. So your business fit your lifestyle. Right? Because for me, it's very important that I started my business to fit my life. So I started web design when I have my children. My lifestyle has changed completely with 2 small kids. So I have to, so my full-time job, 9 to 5, or it was longer, to be honest, doesn't fit my lifestyle anymore. So I was looking to create a business that will fit my lifestyle. And right now I'm trying to help others to do the same. And I believe that the website is the tool that allows to have more flexibility.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing with the why. It's the thing that we want for ourselves and the things that we gift to other people.
Yeah. Good one. Okay, so so right now we know that it's very important. So where can we communicate? We can communicate it on the website. Where else? How we can communicate it with people? Our why?
Well, if you start off saying, I build web pages, I have a really nice system that I work on. The pages look really lovely. They click across really, really well. So if you talk from the technical aspect, when you're talking to somebody about building a website, they're not really going to care how they click or the mechanics of the website. But when you say to them, I build websites that allow people to live the lifestyle or the life that they want, that brings them to the business that they want, and a fulfilling business that allows them to live their best lives, that's a different way of communicating.
So it just even on when we're talking to anyone, right, about our business, even on networking events, it's just how we present it. We should change our pitch just to mention our why.
Yeah. So for you, like it's, and again, I don't know your why, and so I'm kind of making things up a little bit, but it's talking about what is the thing that drives you, why it is that your business exists, that you're looking to actually gift to other people as well, and this is what you do that serves.
So I'm trying to give the flexibility.
You're trying to create that flexibility.
In their life. Okay, so we know it's important. We know we should communicate it. Now, how to find this why? What are 3 simple questions a business owner can ask herself or himself to start discovering their why? Okay,
it's a tricky one because it's quite difficult to find your why yourself, because like I said, a lot of it sits in the storytelling of different experiences that we've had in our lives, and sitting with the why coach to actually uncover that helps you uncover the why. It can be quite difficult to do it yourself. But some of the questions that you can start to ask yourself is looking at, what drove you to start your business? So what is it that created that thing that you wanted to build? And then looking at what lights you up about your business. So what is the thing in your business that makes you think, oh, wow, this is so cool, I just love doing this. So what is it about that? And then it's what is it about your business that makes you, makes it something that you value better? Does that make sense? So then,
can you give some example?
Okay, so something that you value, like I value creating space for people to be heard, because I believe that most people, or everybody, well, you're an expert on yourself, is the thing. Nobody spends more time with you than you do yourself. So I believe people are experts on themselves, but sometimes they get stuck. So for me, I can create space for people to actually sit down, listen to themselves. I can listen to them too and reflect back to them what they're saying, that they can start to go, yes, that sits, no, that doesn't sit, that doesn't serve me anymore. and they can get unstuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So once again, what was the three questions? So,
okay, it's what lights you up about your business.
Yeah.
So what makes you think, woohoo, I could do this for free?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what drove you to start your business? So what was the aha moment that went, right, I know what I'm going to do?
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's not because I need to make money.
No, because you see, there are lots of different ways to make money.
Exactly.
But something brought you to where you are, that lit you up, that made you think, I can do this.
Yes. Yeah.
I've got value in this. I'll actually enjoy it, and I'm going to go with this. And then it's like, what is it about your business that makes you value something, that brings more value to you, that makes it better?
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much, Lucy, for that. If somebody has problem to finding their why on themselves, how do you work with them? How looks the process, and is it a long process or is it a short process? How it looks like?
But usually what I do is I ensure that I'm a good fit for people. So I always do like a 30-minute discovery call just to make sure, well, 20, 30 minutes, just depend, just to see if, yeah, no, I like you, I can work with you, I think that you're the right person for me, because there's nothing worse than investing in something and suddenly it's not the right place or not the right person. So I think people need to make that decision first of all, and I always offer a call to do that. And then it's a process where we meet for about 2 to 2.5 hours. And it's a process of storytelling where I ask questions about different things in people's lives, or what's a day in your life that you could have worked for free because it was such a good day. What's a happy childhood memory that stands out for you? And then digging into those stories starts to bring up all of the things that drive people, that attract people to relationships, to what lights them up, what's important to them. And that's how the process happens, through the storytelling. We'll tell stories for a while, and then we look to co-collaborate by pulling out the themes of the stories, the same thing that keeps showing up again in each of the stories. And as it shows up, we then can start to look to co-construct a why. So a why is a collaboration between me and another person. And what I find is when you hit on the why, that people go, that's actually me. They lean forward. There's actually like a physical reaction. That's me. That's actually what I do. So then we collaborate on that together. And then we look at all the other themes that have come through. We look at developing 3 good solid hows. So what are the things? What are your values in action? So like for me, it's about one of the things I think about when I think about one of my hows is unraveling balls of wool, because, well, I like to knit for a start, but one of the things I like to do is sit and untangle balls of wool. It requires patience. So for me, it's a little bit, it's the same way I step in with people to untangle things. And there is a value in untangling things and just getting them back to where they need to be. So that's one of the things that I have as my how. So then what happens is you end up with your rough why, and then you have your hows as well. And then I meet people again then a couple of weeks later. It depends. Some people like to meet like 2 weeks later or a month later. It all really depends on the person. So we meet again at another time just to look at how their why has settled in with them. And sometimes they've changed the words. They've narrowed it down. Like my why when I first started was about building bridges that support connections. It was a big, long why. As time went on, I've actually shortened it down to building meaningful connections with ourselves and others. But I said that in much longer language. But I've changed it now, and it just fits me better. It's something that just rolls off my tongue very easily. And when I say it to people, they go, yes, that's you. So, and then what I get people to do in that time between the second and third meeting is to actually stick their why up on post-it notes around their office, maybe into their diary, in a couple of different places, and then look at it and think, does that fit? Is there something I'd change about that? Because the whole storytelling process makes you actually think about lots of different things about yourself, gives you lots of information about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it leaves people in this thinking space for a while. And if you've got the why up and around the place, it then makes you think about it a little bit more. You can also share it with people. So share it with people who know you well, and then say, is this me? And get some reflections back on that. And then they might tell you how you do it, or what you do, or wow, that is you, or that really does sum up what you do or how you live. So it's not just how you are in your business, it's how you are as a parent, it's how you are as a partner, it's how you are as a friend. When you show up at your best, that's
Mm-hmm.
what you do. But what it also allows you to do, just to add this bit in, is, there are days when I show up and I'm not listening to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know I'm not in my best frame of mind and I'm not my best self that day. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I just need something different to support me in that day. And I can look for that support. So it gives you an indication as well when you're not your best self. And then it allows you to look at getting some support in place to get through a day that it might be a bit more difficult.
Yeah, and I think if the why really it's a combination also of your values and who you are as a person, not necessarily your business, but also who you are as a person. You will attract the people who are similar to you, who have similar beliefs, who have similar values, and that's why they will be these best fit clients, that they will pay any price that you need to charge, because they will resonate with your values and with your beliefs. And that's why it's so important to communicate this why, who you are as a person, and who you stand for.
Not only then are people buying the services that you provide, but they're also joining your cause.
Mm-hmm.
They're joining you and going, I really believe what Ella believes. I really believe we should all have the flexibility in our work, that we can build it around our lifestyle. And so they're supporting that cause as well as buying your services.
Yeah, very good. Can your why change over time as your business grow?
No, your why stays the same,
Mm-hmm.
but what you do might change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the part that your why is also your personal beliefs and values, so they normally they shouldn't change.
Yeah. Sometimes what can happen as businesses get much bigger is we can fall out of alignment with our why in decisions we're making in our business. And that's why it's good to know your why and to use it as an anchor back to your best self.
Yeah, because very often you can hear that, for example, business has grown and people start to lose the enjoyment for running the business because they miss the part when they were just starting, when the business was like just one solopreneur, right? And later on, when it's a big business, it's making a lot of money, they have staff, they employ the staff, they hire the staff, they don't enjoy it anymore because they lost the sight of their why. It's not aligned anymore.
Yeah, so bringing it back into alignment brings the joy back.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same in relationships as well. Getting back into alignment for what's good for you and when you're at your best self. That brings you back to that place of happiness and joy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm mindful of the time. One more question. What is the biggest shift you see after someone truly understands their why?
What I see with people is they have a clarity around their decision making. Like we were just saying a few moments ago, they have a clarity about their decision making. Like one person I worked with recently who would be a very gentle, kind, thoughtful person, and realized that she needed to put boundaries in place in her business for her customers, for everything, just to come back into alignment. And then she actually did her why and thought, okay, no, I need clarity. That's one of the things that's really important to me. And then it was, she was being nice with people, but being nice is very different to being kind. And the difference between kind and nice is when you're kind, that's when you say something to somebody that might be kind of tough to say, but in the long term, it actually makes a difference. It allows that person to learn. It allows you to learn. And when it's done with kindness, it can put things properly into place. So what she did was she actually drew up a policy of engagement of what the expectations are from customers, from staff, and what she was prepared to do then as well to support everybody. So it was done with kindness, it was done with thought. It wasn't just being nice as people were pushing boundaries. She was saying, no, that's okay, don't worry. Instead, it was, this is what we all need to do for things to work well. It just distinguished that difference between kind and nice.
Yeah. Lucy, we need to wrap up. Thank you very much for all your insights and all your wisdom. If somebody would like to work with you on their why or have some more questions, where they can find you, where they can contact you?
Well, you find me on my website, which is lucycronlycoaching.com or .ie, and I'm lucy.cronly@gmail.com. You can contact me there as well. So,
Perfect.
or on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn and contact me there. That's fine too.
Perfect. By the way, I also will leave all the details in the description of this episode. So if you want to contact Lucy, just go to the show notes and they will be all there. Lucy, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, watching. And until next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Lucy.